Hey, hello world. Welcome back to Dante's Derivatives. Today on my channel, we're going to be doing something really cool. We're going to be doing a really easy, really basic capture the flag event. We're going to be rooting a system on TryHackMe. The room that we're going to be rooting is called RootMe. It's a really easy capture the flag, but I'm really eager to do it. We're going to be using GoBuster. We're going to just be doing some really basic red team stuff, right? Some pen testing. So let's get right into it, you guys. All right. So as I said before, we're gonna try the Root Me, Try Hack Me box. It's a CTF for beginners. Can you root me? Well, yes, I bet we can. So task number one is to start the machine, and then off camera, I already hit complete room. I already have my VPN going and my Kali over here. So I have my VPN in this taskbar over here. I'm not going to show it because it shows some stuff that I don't want to show. But anyways, that's the first steps. Get your open VPN going before you start your machine. So we'll go back to TryHackMe. So task number two, reconnaissance. Let's see. Scan the machine. How many ports are open? So let's see. So I'm going to go ahead, and when they say scan the machine, they mean Nmap, or that's what I'm going to use. Nmap, and I'm going to do an aggressive scan, and I copied that IP address. So you just Nmap aggressive scan on that IP, and I'm going to dash ON so I can save this to a file, and we'll just call it the file name. We'll just call it the IP of the machine that we're trying to attack and Nmap. And I'll just do .text. So we'll hit enter here, and we'll let Nmap do its thing. It might take a bit. So I'll see you guys when the scan is done. All right, so scan complete. Let's scroll up here, and we'll get some information. So let's see what's running on this machine. We've got something running on port 22 and port 80. So port 80 is HTTP. Looks like it's running on an Apache server. Apache 2.4.29. So we'll remember that. I'm pretty sure that's one of the questions. And port 22 is running SSH, OpenSSH 7.6. So let's go back to TryHackMe, see what the questions are. Scan the machine. How many ports are open? So if we go back here, we'll see there's port 22, port 80. It says open on both of these as well. And that looks to be the only two ports open. So I'll actually go back to TryHackMe real fast. So it looks like there's two ports open. Hey, nice. Whoop, whoop, get that blue flag on the screen. And what version of Apache is running? So remember we'll go back and just to make sure, it's 2.4.29. So Apache version 2.4.29. We'll hit submit. Nice. Whoop, whoop. Let's get the blue flag on the screen again. We're doing good. All right, what service is running on port 22? We know that is SSH, Secure Shell. Yay, nice. All right, so to continue on, I actually turned on light mode on my screen, so that way it's easier for people to see. Find the directories on the web server using the GoBuster tool. So the web server that's being hosted on the attack machine, remember the machine IP is 10.10.52.191. So we're going to open up up here, you can see Firefox. We're going to open up the Firefox web browser. We'll let that boot up for a second. And now I'm going to show you what the web server looks like. 10.10.52.191. We'll hit enter there. And the URL automatically knows you want to search up port 80 because it's HTTP. Root at RootMe. Can you root me? I bet we can. So I want to show you guys some cool stuff just real fast. the view page source. We'll see if we can find anything inside of the page source, maybe some passwords or something. And honestly, right off the back, I don't really see anything. I'll see if maybe if I can make it bigger for you guys. Yes, I can. So I don't really see any passwords or anything like that or anything cool. There's this JavaScript. Here, I'll click on it. It just shows some of the JavaScript that's used for the functionality of this web page. But yeah, we'll go back to the page source. I don't really see anything. So we'll exit out of that page source. Let's check if we can inspect the page, which is the developer options. Let's see what this page is made of. I usually like clicking on this network. And if you click on this reload button here, you can see performance analysis. If you click on this little reload tab there, and it's going to tell us JavaScript and HTML. So nothing too interesting there. Let's see if there's anything cool in the cookies. I see that there's a PHP session ID cookie here. So I don't really find that too interesting. But what we can do is go back, and they asked us to, remember on TryHackMe, the question was go find directories on the web server using the GoBuster tool. So we won't hit completed yet because we haven't done that. So I'll hit exit on the web server itself. All right, so we're in Kali, and I'm going to show you guys the GoBuster tool. It's a directory enumerator, so it's going to check to see if specific directories exist. So I'm going to give it a word list, and I'll show you my word lists here. home/Kali/dictionaries. And I have common.txt in here. We're going to use common.txt for this. So I'll get GoBuster going here. GoBuster, and we'll give it the directory search command. So -u for URL. HTTP, because the web servers, it's hosting it on HTTP 10.10, and it was 52. Hold on, I'll have to go back because I got a terrible memory. 191, and then we got to give it a word list, right? So -w for word list, and I'll say /home/Kali/dictionaries /common.txt. Okay? And we'll hit enter here, and we'll let GoBuster do its thing. Okay, and as you can see, if we scroll down, GoBuster is actually scanning. I've got the screen really zoomed in so that way you guys can see it easily, but on your screen it wouldn't be this zoomed in. But yeah, it's testing out of 4,600 directories in that list, that common.txt, it's testing all of these, right? So we're getting some responses here. There's some 403 responses, 301. What we need is a 200 status code, and we found one, index.php. We'll check that out here in a second, but I want to let this keep going, and I'll see you guys when it's done. All right, so GoBuster is finished scanning, and it found some stuff here. And I immediately see some stuff of interest. I see a panel directory. I see an uploads directory, CSS, JSS, or JS for JavaScript. Index.php might be kind of interesting. But let's go back to TryHackMe and answer this question here. We've completed our GoBuster scan. And what is the hidden directory? It's 5 characters. Let's go back. It looks like it's the panel directory. So let's go back to TryHackMe, and the answer format is panel. Nice. We got another flag. Give me the blue flag again. So it looks like we're finished with task number 2. And I'm going to drink some water because that was a rough one. But that was a fun one. Let's get some water going. Task number 2, complete. So let's scroll down to task number 3, getting a shell. So find a form to upload and get a reverse shell, and find the flag. User.text. So we actually have to, it sounds like we're going to try and get a reverse shell. So that's just a way so that we can communicate if we break into the, attack machine, probably through this Apache server, we're going to be able to check and see, we're going to be able to see the file system with that reverse shell. So let's go back to Kali. All right, so I'm going to actually start organizing some information here. So I'm going to actually touch a file, and I'm just going to call it info.txt, nano it, because I want to add some stuff to it. Okay, so we're inside of the file. I want to start organizing some information here. So we know that the IP is 10.10.52.191. They're hosting an Apache server. I believe it's 2.4.29 it's an HTTP. And that's on port 80. And it's also SSH on port 22. So GoBuster's found some stuff for us. So GoBuster results, we can just say GoBuster results. It found a panel directory. It found an index.php. It found a CSS. It found a JavaScript. And, it also found, remember, the uploads. If I can spell correctly, uploads. So we're going to save this file now. I want to clear my screen just because now we don't really need all of that GoBuster results because we have it. If we ls, we have 2 text files here. We have our nmap results and we have our info in general. So let's go ahead and think what's next to do. I want to actually open up, we don't still have a web browser open. So I'll open up a Firefox web browser again. We'll let that boot up. And so now we're going to travel to that IP again, .52.191. And remember, this is the actual home web page. So, but there's hidden directories in here, right? So let's check the panel. Looks like we can upload a file. So this is, if I'm thinking correctly here, let me make this page a little bigger. I guess you can't make it any bigger, but this is where we're going to upload our reverse shell so we can communicate from our Kali. So let's look at the uploads real fast as well. All right, so there's nothing in there yet. Probably when we actually upload our reverse shell, there will be something in there. And just to be sure, I want to see, we've already looked at that Makina. I want to see what the CSS one is, though. Okay, so there's the panel. That's probably for the panel page. This is the CSS for the home page, I'm assuming. Let's click on them. It's just CSS, boring old CSS code. And we'll look at the one for the panel as well. All right. Nothing too interesting, just boring old CSS code. So we're back in the JavaScript directory because I pressed backspace. And the last, if I remember correctly, I think that was it. We've looked at uploads, we've looked at panel, CSS, JavaScript, and we've also looked at index.php, I believe. So that's why we're in the index page. But what I want to do, we're going to actually just pull a reverse shell, just a random generic reverse shell off the web page. So PHP reverse shell. We'll type that into our search bar. And it looks like there's one here on GitHub. I've already been here before. All right, so it's probably hard for you guys to see all that, so I'll make it a little bit bigger. So we're on Pentest Monkeys GitHub. Thank you for letting us use your code here. I'm going to actually, because look, if you look, there's a PHP reverse shell here. That's the actual code for it. But I want to get all of this. So I'll just download the zip. Let me scroll up. I'll just download the zip here. So download zip. So that downloads onto my system. And now we can exit out of this. We can exit out of GitHub. We'll keep that open because we kind of need to. We'll go to the panels where we're going to upload this though. So panels where we're going to upload our reverse shell when we tweak it a little bit. So let's go back to Kali here. So we're back in Kali, and what we got to do now is move from our downloads directory. We got to move that master zip with the PHP reverse shell in it. We got to move it into our current directory. So PHP reverse shell master zip. We'll move that into our current directory, and I'll show you. It's in here now. PHP reverse shell master.zip. So I'll clear my screen. I'm going to unzip that. All right, and now here's what we really want. This PHP reverse shell .php. So ls will cd into the directory that it created. ls again. I realize you guys can't see. So I'll clear my screen. Now we'll press ls. Okay, so this is the file we want right here. But I want to change the name because this .php might not pass a web filter if we try to upload it to a web server. So yeah, it might not pass a web filter, so we're just going to change the name to something really generic and crazy. But anyways, we're going to copy PHP reverse shell.php. And I thought of this earlier, x.phtml, and we'll hit enter. So now, as you can see, my big head's in the way, but not all the way in the way. PHP reverse shell.php, and we also have x.phtml. So those are the same files because I just copied them. So let's see. Let me clear my screen here. I'm actually going to prove that those are the same files. SHA-256 sum on x.phtml and SHA-256 sum on PHP reverse shell.php. So yeah, these are the same values. It's the same file. I just copied it. But I wanted to prove it to you guys, for all of you naysayers out there that don't, the skeptics. And it's good to be a skeptic in cybersecurity. Sometimes you have to use this command, SHA-256 sum, to check, file integrity and all that. So anyways, I'll clear my screen. All right, so what we're going to do now is actually change some of the values in our reverse shell. So we'll nano that x.phtml, and we'll scroll down to that part where it said change this. All right, so we have the port set to the correct port. Our Netcat listeners listening on 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and delete the IP, and I'm going to change the IP to my IP right now. And I've blocked this out so you can't see, but on your screen, you'll just do your IP if you're following along. So I saved that file, and what we're going to do now is upload this to the Apache web server that's running on the machine that we're trying to attack. So we're going to try and get a reverse shell going there. So I'll double click on that. we'll hit upload. You'll see, nice, success. So we get a green screen. So that's a pretty good inclination that this upload was successful. So let's travel to the uploads directory once again. And see, okay, so our reverse shell is actually in here. And let me show you guys, we're about to see magic happen, right? So we have our netcat listener listening. What we're gonna do now is start it. We're gonna start the reverse shell. So don't double click. You can just click on our reverse shell here. And let's go back to our netcat listener. Nice. So we now have a connection on our attack machine. So let's immediately see, who am I? We are www data. Okay. So I also want to see where I am in the file system. So we're in this directory right here. So let's also, the question from TryHackMe was locate the user.txt. So I'm going to use the find command, see if we can find slash, we'll say find in this directory /name user.txt. Oop, if I can spell, user.txt. Let's see if we can find it. So permission denied, permission denied. Look, I found it. Okay, so it's in var ww user.txt. So I'm just gonna copy this. We can't clear our screen because we don't have an intelligent bash. And we will here in a second though. I'll show you guys. We're gonna give ourselves an intelligent bash, so that way it's easier to travel through this. But first, I just want to show you guys how to find that user.txt. So we'll go ahead and cat, and I'll paste this. Nice. Okay, so this is the flag. THM, you got a shell. So I'll copy this selection here. We'll bring it back to TryHackMe. And whoop, whoop, we got it correct. Awesome. So getting a shell, task number 3 has been completed. All right, so task number 4, privilege escalation. So a second ago, I told you guys I wanted to show you how to get an intelligent bash going up here. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to actually type this code into here. We're going to use Python. So we're going to use some Python code here. And I moved my face so that way you guys could see. Import pty.spawn /bin/bash. And when I hit enter here, all right, so you can see now we can probably clear our screen. Well, we can't clear screen, but when we ls, it looks a lot better. And yeah, we just have an intelligent bash script here. So now we can, actually see things a little bit prettier, just a little bit prettier. But what I'll do is I'll just make some space for us here. And what's the first question? Search for files with SUID permission. Which file is weird? So there's a command for searching for files with SUID permission, and that is this command right here. We're going to use the find command with all these other goodies in here. Just copy exactly what I have. So find in this directory, type F, user, root. So we're just looking for, when it says SUID, we're looking for files that if you use them, it's going to actually run them as root or with the special permission intact. So you'll hit enter, and it's going to pull up a whole bunch of files here. So we'll scroll through and see if we can use any of these. So I'm looking for Python. Oh, Python. Nice. Okay, so we found it. So that means that we can use Python to get a root shell. So we're gonna go to a website called GTFO bins and look at a command that we can use to get a root shell on this system. So let's go ahead and go to our Firefox web browser. Once again, we'll open up a separate one and we'll go to GTFO bins. You hit enter and we're gonna scroll down here and look for where it says Python. And I passed them, of course, silly. Okay, so Python. So I'm gonna click on the SUID portion and it takes us down to the command immediately. So what I'm gonna do is actually just copy this command and we'll bring it back to Kali. Why won't it give me the period too? Thank you. So we'll copy this and we'll bring it to our command line. And we're going to copy this into the command line, hit enter. All right, so Python did not work for that one. So I found out what I was doing wrong. We just have to run that same Python command without the / in the beginning. So you'll hit enter and it looks like that actually worked. Nice, we've rooted the system. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and ls see if we can find. Okay, so we'll cd into root because I think that's going to be root.txt. Yeah, nice. That was fun. So let's go back to TryHackMe and answer some of these questions. All right, so the questions. Search for files with SUID permission. Which file was weird? And I remember that was /user/bin/python. Hey, nice. Whoop, whoop. So find a form to escalate your privileges. We used Python and we found one on GTFO bins. So let's go back to Kali and get our root flag because we are about to officially RootMe on TryHackMe together. Hey, nice. Whoop, whoop. We did it. Get the blue flag on the screen. I just want to congratulate you guys for doing your first basic CTF with me. That was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I hope that you learned a lot and you thought that this was insightful, maybe even fun if you're a nerd like me and you like to learn. I want to thank you if you watched, especially if you're a subscriber. Smash that subscribe button so you can learn more with me because we're just going to keep on learning from here on out. Smash that like button so you and other people can see this video. We got more learning to do. And as always, thank you for learning.